Alright, what's up, guys? Last but certainly not least, the BMW. Just like the other cars, I'm taking the wing all the way down. That way I can skip that step, because I'll be doing that step no matter what. I'm going to take a little mental note that I do have gear options here. That might be useful for this track. What else? I think that's it. Let's run some laps. Oh, just kidding. Gotta calibrate my steering wheel. Always something. And while I'm at it, make sure telemetry is mapped. Alright, cool. Sure, the BMW is going to feel the best out of all the cars in the infield. This thing just tons more grip than the Ford. Definitely more grip than the rough. McLaren's pretty close in grip, but the car just doesn't feel quite as like it's got as much life in it compared to the Beamer. That corner might be some drama, and then getting on the oval here might be drama because the weakest part of the Beamer's getting on the throttle when in a corner like this. Just because it's front engine rear wheel drive, it doesn't have all that weight over the rear wheels like the other three cars do, especially the rough. But let's learn our braking points. Figure out where we're supposed to be gear wise, maybe look at the gears here and see if it's worth it to go up to tall. Doesn't seem too strung out, but if you're not going to use tall here, I don't know where you're going to use tall gears. Yeah, because I mean, I'm already hitting my shift point right now. So I'll definitely switch gears. So I'm only doing 264, 5, so I'm about a kilometer or two down on the Ford in the rough. But that was the first lap. Don't have quite my top speed yet. Yep, that's where the Beamer's gonna get you. When you're getting on the throttle. See what our top speed is. The car's still, well, see what our top speed is this time, but I'm still going to change the gears because in the draft, I'm pretty sure I'll be hitting the rev limiter. Just got up to 266 that time, so very doggone close between the Ford, the rough, and this. The McLaren definitely seems to be off the pace top speed wise. Ooh, a lot of wheel spin coming out of that corner. So just like all the other videos this week, I'm really just focused on the ride height of the car on the oval section. I just want it to be as parallel to the ground as it can be, because that really helps optimize the airflow, and you get the best slipstream effect. If the front end's too high and the rear end's too low, it'll kind of act like a parachute. If the rear end's too high up in the ground, it could not get air to flow underneath the car, and that actually will slow it down. So you just want it to be as easy for the air to flow underneath the car as possible, and the best way to do that is have a flat bottom relative to the ground. So I use a little program called Atlas. I was calling it Motec in the earlier videos, but it's actually called Atlas, and it's by McLaren. And it's just a little software program that helps you look at all the telemetry that iRacing provides. You can look at ride height, shock deflections, throttle position. I mean, pretty much anything, well, anything that iRacing exports telemetry-wise, you can put on a graph and look at. I really just use it for ride heights on robles. I find it's, you know, it's a lot easier to tune the ride height when you actually look at the data as opposed to just whatever feels right. I already ran a 44, so I think the Beamer is going to be the car of the week. I'll do one more lap. Then change the gears to tall and look at my ride heights. As far as handling on the infield, the car feels good. I don't really think I need to do anything to it setup-wise. Actually, with taller gears, that'll help with getting the power down out of the corners, in theory. Pretty much overdrove the entire bus stop. But the combination of the BMW and the CS, the Fanatec base, kind of gives me the confidence to do stupid stuff like that.
44.91.
Car's got a little bit of push getting into the beginning of that corner, but it's nothing I'm gonna even mess with. It's more or less telling me I'm going in the corner too fast once it starts pushing. It's got a little bit of that grass. Alright. First, I'm gonna go look at the atlas again. I apologize that you guys can't see this. Ooh. Wow. This is the biggest difference I've seen all week. It's 0.01, so it's off by almost well, it's off by 100th. The fronts are much lower than the rears relative to the rest of the cars this week. Joel? First, I'm gonna do something. Change the gears. I'm gonna see if I can lower the rear end quite a bit. Now this will cause more. Will cause more understeer in theory. Okay, that was a pretty big swing at it, so in theory I just put a lot more understeer in the car. And lowered the rear end, so hopefully it'll be a little bit more in plane with the surface of the track. Could help with traction off corner though. The only spot it is really understeering is turn 1. So maybe this is exactly what I needed. And the reason it puts more understeer in the car is because you just lowered the center of gravity of the rear of the car. And you know, just think of like a Miata compared to a 4Runner or something. Go through the same corner in the two different cars, the 4Runner is going to want to tip over where the Miata is going to stay nice and plain, and that's all because of the center of gravity. So just think like you're bringing the rear end more from a 4Runner to a Miata, so it really helps snug up that rear end. Oh yeah, and then also you make the, the gears a little bit taller. Not going to want to spin the wheels as much just because of the nature of the gearing. It's like trying to do a burnout in second gear versus trying to do a burnout in first gear. It's going to be a lot easier to do a burnout in first gear.
45.2.
I had a good lap going, then I started texting. Sorry, right there. I think my fastest lap previously was the next lap. I think it would be the next lap I'm gonna do right now, or it could have been the one after that. So it's always something you want to keep in mind is how far into your run was your fastest lap before, so then you can really got a pretty fair base to judge your lap you're running off of. You're not comparing like the first lap to 10th lap where you got basically two different tires and fuel weight combinations. It's not a very I don't even know how to describe it, scientifically honest way to see if you're making improvements. Rear end does feel a lot more stable though. Tires don't want to spin as much. I almost wonder if, as I say that, I almost wonder if that's a better approach to take with the Beamer. Just always run in tall gears and help that rear end hook up. That was a pretty poor lap, so I'm not really going to pay much attention to that other than you can see how much time I picked up, even though I had a horrible exit out of the bus stop. So we definitely helped the aerodynamics of the car.
45.63.
Sam definitely got more top speed than I did before. Ooh, too fast. Dang it. Alright though, definitely made an improvement. Let's see what the ride heights are now. Sorry for the black screen. All right. We're getting closer. It's off just by about 3 thousandths now. So we basically gained about 7 thousandths from the difference before. Oh, just gonna go a little bit, save that. Just gonna go a little bit more lower with the rear. I gotta bring up the front just a bit. Alright. It's basically fine tuning now. Just trying to get that nice and parallel to the ground. Again, there wasn't any negative understeer from that, or negative consequences of understeer from lowering that rear end before. Only seemed to help up with the rear end hooking up, so no reason to be bashful and keep doing it. There's like little pushes, like it's like middle of the entry of the corner. So you got entry, middle, middle, exit, middle. Like break up each of the 3 segments into their own little segments. And the entry middle is where this car pushes. It's just that one little time when you're in the middle of the entry of the corner. If that makes sense. And when I'm looking at the telemetry for the ride heights, I'm looking at it right here because this is when the car's the most flat on the ground. Or at least the most neutral part of the track.
44.93.
Yeah. Might not look bad, but it felt horrible. Do one more lap here, and then I'm gonna see what my ride heights are at now. Just gotta get the tires up to their full operating pressure, so you actually get the right ride heights.
.15.
Ooh, too fast. Alright. Let's just gonna cheat. I'm still feeling a little under the weather, so my energy levels aren't peaking. Alright, so pretty much dead even now. It's like off by 1,000th, so just gonna save that and call it a day. Another good baseline for you guys, and please feel free to make improvements and post them on the forums. Alright guys, till next time. Sorry if this week was a little repetitive, but it's kind of how it gets when you get on tracks like this. Especially when I got my setups, they're starting to get kind of in tune, or not really a lot I have to do to them nowadays, so might do something different here eventually, and just start with the neutral setup or something like that, and just so you guys can see some more setup changes. But then you guys can always go look at my older videos and just look at the screenshots for different setup changes in the videos farther back. Alright guys, till next time.